none of that. But what's the student's job? The student's job is to make sure that you study each and every day. You study without ceasing. You study till you understand and get it. You study till it hurts, because no pain, no gain. You just have to make sure that you study. That's your job, to get that A and B, so that you get the bursary, so that you get funding, so that you get accepted in that prestigious university. That's your job. Stick to it.
My dream. I go beyond the fears and limitations of other people. I am a motivator.
I'm so excited about this one, man, because I believe that it's something that is going to shake the whole of Mzansi, man. And it pertains to the Matric learners, the grade 12 learners, because I believe that they are our future generation. Our future generation is in their hands. So we ought to invest in them and equip them with power, equip them with knowledge and wisdom and advice. Some stuff you'll never learn in the classroom, man. Some stuff you learn from experience. Some stuff you learn from people who walked that path. And ladies and gentlemen, I walked the path of Matric, man. And I tell you, boy, it was a wild journey, man. If I can sit down and tell you my story, oh my God. Woo, man. It's so wonderful, man. And I'm happy that I started strong and finished strong. And I'm here to share you some of the nuggets that you ought to possess as a Matric learner, man. If you're in grade 10 and grade 11, man, keep this in the fridge, bookmark it, save the link somewhere, because you are going to need this, man. Today I'm going to talk about 14 commandments for a grade 12 learner. 14 commandments for grade 12 learner according to Motivator. Number 1, here it goes. Number 1, thou shalt have a good learner-teacher relationship with your teacher. Have a good learner-teacher relationship with your teacher. It's the first and most fundamental commandment. Why? Because now your teacher is your parent. Your teacher is someone that you're going to spend most of your time with. In school, here you are, you wake up at 6, you get ready for school, you get on transport if you have to, or you walk to school if you have to. You get to school and get to sit on a class and leave at somewhere around 3 to 4, depending on which school it is or and how determined they are to make sure that you pass. Before you know it, it's 6 and 7, you have to do your homework. You only got nothing but something like 1 to 2 hours to spend with your family on a daily basis. Why? Because you are chasing those A's and B's, level 7s and 6s, A's and B's, bananas and apples. That's what we're all about if you are a dedicated Matric learner. So it will help you to have a good relationship with that person, because you're going to spend most of your time with. It's the person that's going to guide you throughout your journey in Matric. It's the person that is going to guide you to those apples and bananas at the end of the day. And if you don't have a good relationship with that person, I'm telling you, you are bound to fail. Why? Because you're not going to listen to that person. You're not going to respect that person. You are just going to walk in a position whereby you wouldn't care anymore, because you have discredited the messenger. Once you discredit and disrespect the messenger, the message becomes weak. It doesn't reach your ears. Even though it does, but doesn't stay. That's not what we all want. So have a good teacher-learner relationship. You'll see your teacher being drawn to you, free around you. You will be free to ask some questions where you don't understand. Why? Because you have a relationship of knowledge. You know, some teachers are sapiosexuals. Meanwhile, they get turned on by your brain, basically, some weird stuff happening out there. People call themselves hypersexuals and all those things. Yeah. And if you have someone who sees that you are enthusiastic, you have a good relationship with that person, you are free around them, then you are in a good environment to learn and pass and get that A, that distinction. Number 2, thou shalt ask questions whenever you don't understand. Thou shalt ask questions whenever you don't understand. Thou shalt ask questions whenever you don't understand. This is also fundamental, man, because we live in a place whereby what will people say? How bad to Bazoti is wrong. What will people say if I ask this stupid question? Well, there's nothing such as a stupid question, man. Your question could help a whole lot of people out there. Most of all, it helps you. Okay, suppose you don't ask for clarity, you are in doubts. The very same question comes out in the exam. Who's going to regret? Who's going to cry? I should have asked. It won't matter when it's you and that question paper. So you ask. You ask. You ask. I remember back in Cuba, I studied in Cuba, I studied medicine there. Before you start studying in Cuba, you have to first do Spanish classes and all those things. I was one of those guys whereby, man, if I didn't understand something, I don't understand. Can you please go back? If you have to go back 7 times, you win. They knew I was very notorious for that. I was annoying. But first test came of Spanish, man. Ooh, boy. I did way better than those people who were not asking. Because I was not ashamed to ask. Whoever was in my class during that time of preparatory at Saguana Grande, they will tell you, I wasn't afraid to ask. Oh, prophet, the school, no entiendo. Then they tell me, you get what I'm saying? And I was helped by that. I managed to succeed by asking because I was not ashamed. I don't care what people will laugh, yes, but that question will stay with me and it will be a nugget of wisdom for me to use in that exam room. Number 3, thou shalt be bothered if you fail. Man, you got to be bothered if you fail. If you fail, you have to be bothered, man. If you fail, you have to be bothered at the end of the day, man. You cannot just get 20% on a certain exam, even a classwork, and you don't want to know where you got it wrong. You don't want to know where you failed. You don't care. Just close the book and get it on with life. That's not how you deal with stress, honey. You just have to confront situations, honey. You just have to be in a position where you say, I refuse to step this low, man. I'll step it up next time. When it comes, I will make sure I break this exam or test or classwork or homework or anything. That's why we have corrections at the end of the day. To help you with such things, to help you to see where you got it wrong. Then you get it right. Same question show. These questions keep repeating themselves in these exams, man. If it comes like this, for this year, next year it will come like this. But it's the same question. So you just have to make sure you're in a position that you get bothered and do something about that wrong mark. You have to account every wrong mark that you get wrong. It has to be accounted for. Why did I get it wrong? How did I get it right? Where did I get it wrong? How can I get it right? And you make sure you get it right. You stick with the right teachers, stick with the right buddies, stick with the right game. And don't be afraid to ask. Yeah. Number 4, do not miss a class. And if you do miss a class, strive by all means to catch up on it. Thou shalt not miss a class. If you miss a class, thou shalt make sure and inquire thereof about it, and make sure you catch up, man. Because once the bus leaves, oh man, you will be left behind, and the rest of the content you will not understand. Because this thing is very systematic at the end of the day. If you don't get it, then you will miss the boat and you will be lost in the middle of nowhere. That's not what we want. Make sure you catch up. So absenteeism, zero excuses. You will be absent when you have to. Maybe you have to go to see a doctor. That's acceptable. Go see that doctor. It's okay. But at the end of the day, make sure you don't miss classes. Make sure that you catch up every time you miss a class, so that this thing, you don't miss it. It's a whole system, because once you understand your work by system, as a system that is connected to each other, then you are more likely to just deduce something out of what you have learned, man, rather than cramming this chunk, cramming that chunk, and cramming that chunk. That's not acceptable, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5, thou shalt have a study timetable and strive by all means to stick to it. Thou shalt have a study timetable. That's a person. If you don't write it, just then write it in your head. You get what I'm saying? I passed Matric without writing it down a timetable. That's one thing I can tell you. I didn't have a written down. It was in my head. I had the strategy in my head. You get what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to put it down, but have a plan. Have a plan. Make sure that you have that plan. You jot it down and you run with it. You get what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to have a timetable and not follow it, then what good is it? It's another thing to have a timetable, not jot it down, but have it and follow it. Man, this is individual, man. Whatever works for you, go with it. And one thing I can tell you about timetables, if someone said they follow their timetable 100%, year in, month in, month out, they lied to you. I can assure you right now, they have lied to you. You get what I'm saying? Because life is unpredictable at the end of the day. So that table is not there to put religion in you. No, that timetable is there to guide you, to give you a guide that I'm going this way, I'm going that way. From here, I'm going this way. Because it's no use. You know, you schedule your 5, you're at the 5 a.m. club, you want to wake up at 5 a.m., all those things. For you to study, at the end of the day, you wake up and you don't know which one to study. Should I touch this? Should I touch that? Do I do life sciences? Do I do physics? Do I do maths? What do I do? Why? You don't have a plan. You spend 30 minutes trying to figure out what to do. No way. The timetable is there to guide you. From here, I'm going here. From here, I'm going here. Have a timetable. Yeah. I used to use this strategy 4-4-2, like soccer, man. For as much as I didn't like soccer, I can assure you, man, I used the strategy 3-4, whatever. Yeah, that was me. When I'm saying 4-4-2, for example, I know the first 4 hours is physics, the second 4 hours is mathematics, the next 2 hours is these languages, you know, your English and your all those things. Yeah. The next day I change it. 3-5-3. You get what I'm saying? The first 3 hours it's life science. The next 5 hours maybe it's maths. I'm practicing with my friends or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Have a strategy, Papa. Make sure you're in a position that you win, man. Have a timetable, have a plan, have a guide. You see, you put a sailor of a boat in the middle of the ocean. They know where they are going, not because they are smart, because they have a compass. It tells them and gives them direction that the way to England is this way. They will not deviate because they have what? A compass. Same applies to you. Have a timetable so that you know where you are going. That's just about it, man. Number 6. Thou shalt sacrifice holidays for your studies. For studying is thy priority. Studying is your priority, man. You must know. In Matric, I'm a student and nothing else. I'm not a party person. I'm not something else. I'm studying. A doctor knows that his job is to save lives. A police officer knows his job is to, try by all means to eradicate crime. Yeah. A lawyer's role knows that his job is to make sure that they enforce some law and legalities and all those things. An accountant's job knows. He knows that his job is to make sure they balance those things, CPFs and your balance sheets and all those things in the banks. I don't know none of that. But what's the student's job? The student's job is to make sure that you study each and every day. You study without ceasing. You study till you understand and get it. You study till it hurts. Because no pain, no gain. You just have to make sure that you study. That's your job. To get that A and B so that you get the bursary. So that you get funding. So that you get accepted in that prestigious university. That's your job. Stick to it. Don't deviate from it. That's your priority. Make sure you study, man. Make sure you study. Number 7. Thou shalt attend extra classes, tutoring, and winter classes. Yeah. You just have to. Because now, that 40 minutes of life science, each and every day or some days or whatever, it's not enough. 40 minutes is not enough to get an A and B. You need some extra classes, man. Some extra guidance, some proper guidance. If you have a chance to go for an extra class, go for it, man. If they say you are paying, it's worth it. It is worth it. Strive to make sure you go there in that class, so that you are in a position that you win in life. You get what I'm saying? Because that double period of maths, it's not enough for you to get an A and B. You need something extra to put on, man, so that you win in life. That's a smart way to go for it. I'm not saying it's impossible to get those high-level distinctions without extra classes. All I'm saying is, if you want a smart way to do it better, it's having extra classes. That's what I'm all about, ladies and gentlemen. So go for those extra classes, go for those tutoring, man. All the tutor wants is my money. We'll see who wanted your money at the end of the year or in the beginning of the year when that statement comes or those newspapers come. It's all about putting in the work and spending more time on your books that you excel in this thing. There's no rocket science. I don't care if you're a genius or not. You just have to make sure that you're in a position that you put some extra layers on this thing, baby, so that you're on Distinction City. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to stop right here to avoid the video being long. I assure you, I'll see you on part 2 on 14 commandments of a grade 12 learner, so that we make sure that we win in this thing, man. Oh, the rest going up to 40 are so hot, man. Make sure you don't miss them. And you can make sure by making sure that you subscribe to this channel, smash that subscription button, smash that like button, and I'll see you on my next video, man. I wish you the best on your matric journey, man. If you are in lower grades like 11 and 12, or like 11 and 10 or whatever, man, keep this video. It will be worthwhile.